new character. He's scared of his own burp. Wait. Yes, yes, ready to impress. We are back.
Back.
We're live. I'm your host with the most, Casper.
Bboy Smurf.
Bboy Smurf?
Yeah.
Very good. We're here. We're queer. Get used to it. Thank you for tuning in. We are live. If you can't be here for the entire show, go to our YouTube channel, Bboy News. Subscribe, share, and like for more content every week. Thank you for tuning in. That being said, hashtag being said, let's talk about our sponsor, Smurf. Go ahead.
Yes, we have our sponsor, Showgrow. You know what? This podcast wouldn't be possible without them. They're out here in Los Angeles. They're located on San Pedro and Washington. And the owner of Showgrow, actually, Casper, just in case people didn't know, he was actually used to be a B-boy. So he actually not only supports us, but he's into it. He's always tuning in, and he respects everybody that we bring on. So big shout outs to Showgrow. Follow him on Instagram, ShowgrowLA_.
That's right. Thank you for the support, Showgrow. Speaking of support, also, we have another way you guys tuning in can support. Smurf, tell them about that.
Yes, we got a Venmo, Jesse Casper Brown.
Oh.
We also got a PayPal, concreteallstars@yahoo.com. If you guys got a Patreon, you guys can make a pledge. If you guys like what you guys see, we don't get paid by the city of Hollywood to do this. So by keeping us off the streets, you guys, your donations will keep this show going, and you won't find us at Home Depot or McDonald's serving burgers, man.
Yeah, that's
Basically.
true.
So
yeah, man, we support us. We'll take $1. We'll take $1 million. We'll take food stamps.
We'll take 40 cents.
So, yeah, man, thank you for everybody tuning in. Please chat away. We're going to answer questions within the podcast. But let's get into it. Let's get into the show. Let's go. That was amazing.
Amazing.
Holy shit, that was sexy. Thank you for everybody tuning in. This is Bboy News live podcast. Let's get into it. We have our next guest, special guest, legendary B-boy. You know him from Knuckleheads, Wolf of Wad Street. He doesn't smoke cigarettes, but he smokes B-boys.
Yep.
Please welcome Paranoid.
Android.
Yes, fam.
Good, those are good noises. Yeah,
Yeah, man, thanks.
Good.
Good. Soundboard.
We had a soundboard at some point, but I think this show is getting a little ghetto. But yo, seriously, man, thank you for just being on the show, man.
Yeah, man.
Word,
Take these
thank you
sunglasses
guys.
How do you feel?
Good, man.
Yeah?
Good, yeah.
Good to be here, man.
Yeah.
Really, seriously, what are you up to, man, in LA? What you got going on?
Everything. I've been in LA a couple years now. Took a little break from breaking, and I've been doing CrossFit for the last 3 years, and coaching and teaching, and still doing some breaking here and there. And
3 years.
yeah,
Holy shit.
Where you coaching at?
Deuce Gym, Venice, California.
Oh, at Deuce's gym.
Deuce's.
Zeus.
Yeah.
That's a popular gym out there, man.
No, it's
Yeah.
legit. I went there with him. It's already been 3 years
It's been about 3 years, yeah.
since the conversation we had
Since
at the
the
bar.
conversation,
Where we
in
both said we're
Chinatown
gonna
bar.
quit, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw
You
how
gotta
that
say that
road
every year,
went
though.
down. That's funny, man. Yeah, man. I don't know. I guess we'll just talk about how you got started with the dance, man. Like,
Sure.
How did that get into that? You know, like you
Word.
get into that.
All right, yeah. I started breaking in 1997. I was about 14 years old. My brother was doing it, got me into it. I thought it was super cool. I kept doing it. It was something I really enjoyed. I wasn't super dope at sports. Wasn't crazy about sports. And I really enjoyed breaking for what it was when it started. I had no idea what it was, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody knows what it is when you start. So I started breaking, figuring out. I started out as like a power head, if you could even call it that. Back then, just maybe doing some flares. My favorite b-boy was like Super Dave from Style Elements.
Oh, no
like
shit.
Fucking,
Dope.
that was it. And as I got better at it, it changed, obviously. It stopped being just fucking around, dicking around with your friends to I got my first flight to France. Now this shit's real.
Right.
Yeah.
What year was that when you went out to France?
Oh, 2003, 4?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And you were in Sour Patch before.
Yeah, I was in Sour Patch. I was in a number of crews, most notably Sour Patch for sure is where I got my start, and where I learned probably the most valuable trades I have in terms of breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What crews? Do you remember the crew names that you were involved with, like in order?
Let's
go back to the beginning, man.
Yeah, okay.
Let us know, man.
I think the first one I can remember was called Snosberry Bunch, which is like a fucking clear.
Say that again.
Snosberry Bunch.
I like that name.
Snosberry
Yeah,
Bunch.
which
That's
is like
weird.
a clear, indefinite fucking we want to be Sour Patch.
Right.
This is like All Elements Show '99, either before or around there, and Sour Patch fucking just. Well, we're both from AZ, so they just took everybody by storm. They were fucking phenomenal. Watching them break was watching someone reinvent the wheel, right?
Yeah.
At least to us. And it was like a limited time in terms of footage, so you were regional based. Whatever your style was, it was based on your region, period. So that was a huge part of it. So then, from there, we had a crew called, it's fucking funny names. From there, we had Slick on the Monkey Bars, which had Slick on the Monkey Bars. Yeah.
That's dope.
With Alex Miraz, Gio, even Nate Killer Robot, a bunch of the guys, fucking super dope, original Arizona people were in that group. Alex went on to like do some acting. He was in some Twilight movies. And then from there, I eventually got down with Sour Patch. Was like,
Well, these like
where I
all
wanted to
B-boy
be.
crews, though, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We always thought they would be.
Yeah.
No, of
Yeah.
course. Well, talking about original, I mean, your style, I mean, let alone your crew, but your style, like, is mainly, like, original shit. Like, nowadays, especially with the youth, it's getting a little more difficult to see that, but I
Yeah.
always loved your style. Like, coming back from, I found you on Detours when I saw you battling Cujo.
Yeah.
And that really spreaded the, just like, what is this? Like, this guy is insane. But I don't even think it just goes from power and from you on the ground. You have a really tight, like, dancing, like, aspect up top that a lot of people don't get to see. Like, when I saw you just recently at the Freestyle Session Minnesota, you guys won that, right?
Yeah, we won that.
But you were dancing up top. I was really impressed. I mean, so maybe you could just for the, the new and old that kind of are a little rusty, maybe talk about how, even in your upbringing, how you found that style and bringing that kind of, that different style. What is that style? Where did it come from? What inspired you to dance like that?
For sure. Fucking Weehum. Straight up and down. When I started learning to dance, Weehum sat me down and was like, you need to just stand still until this music hits you, basically, and then you can start moving. And he would limit my movement and just tell me just to work my knees, shoulders, hands, and start opening me up in terms of different outlets to just understand what tops were, in addition to the fact that he was really big into house dancing too, so that was a big aspect. I think the bottom, or like the underlying tone for everything I've ever done with breaking, is the fact that I was always big into literature and writing and reading, and caused me to question authority and question like structures and academia. So when it came to breaking, people were like, well, this is what breaking is.
Right.
And then when we went about it, people were saying, well, that's not breaking anymore.
Right.
And it caused us to question what dictates, top rock. What
What's right,
dictates,
what's wrong.
yeah, what's right, what's wrong. Up top there, stand-up dancing, what's floor moves, what's considered footwork. Is
Right.
it just confined to X amount of steps? And who dictates when those steps becomes, this is a 10-step, this is a 12-step, and more keep getting added. So there's like a shift in like power or
Right.
like dialogue in terms of what's right.
Right.
What was expected.
Yeah,
That's,
what
that's
was
interesting
expected.
because I think that's what breaking is supposed to be about, though, is to question
Yeah.
and find yourself within. Because I always say in my workshops, it's like, it's there. That's what I love about breaking. With all the other aspects of dance is really choreographed and there's so many rules like this.
Yeah.
But what I loved about breaking, that there really, once you know the foundation, you understand the idea of the foundation, there really is no wrong or right. It's what you do. It's your approach that makes it right. That's what I love about breaking. And when people start locking down things and say, no, this isn't breaking, this is breaking,
Yeah.
it's a little retarded, because that was the whole point of why this was created on the streets. It was the youth bringing their voice out physically, and everybody individually was different. And I talk about this a lot on the podcast about characters. I think that we lack now in this culture the character vibe and being original and just having those characters like superheroes. I've always thought it like that. I always thought, not just your crew, but you especially, you were a character. You stood out. And I was a huge fan of Cujo. And when I saw that, I was like, who's this guy? I was like, this motherfucker. And then I'm watching and I was like, oh, that's why. I get it. And I feel like once you can just tap into that within yourself and understand that it's the question, it's always a student, never a master, and you want to keep learning and keep being creative within yourself before someone else. Finding yourself and being real within yourself, and not, instead of faking the funk and trying to be real for someone else's idea, then you lose the idea within yourself. I feel like that's what you're talking about. Breaking is like questioning, and I feel like it just bums me out when people kind of trap people like that and kind of put, you're in a box. Like, you got to get out of the box. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, fuck rules.
Well, man, you know what? Even throughout your whole career, you stay consistent on who you were. Like, even when people were like trying to prosecute you and be like, "Nah, this guy's not a b-boy," like, you kept doing you regardless.
Yeah.
And like,
You didn't give a shit.
even now, I feel like
shit.
people really can't hate on you anymore because you've been in it so long that you've established like what you are.
Yeah, I mean, that took a fucking decade of people saying that's not breaking.
Do you still get that?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
No, right?
Maybe not to my face. I used to get it to my face a lot. Yeah. I think it's just like anything else. I think breaking is just like anything else when it comes to establishing something. I think there's no right or wrong. I think there's just better ways to do it. There's no superior style. There's just superior dancers, right? So if you can take an idea that you think that this is what encompasses breaking, and you can advance that idea, and you can have class, and you can have style, and you can have execution, you can have all these things, and I think that falls within that realm. Additionally, you're showing up to jams, you're contributing to this culture, you're either judging, contributing movement, competition, or helping push this envelope. It's not like you're going to do something else,
Right.
so.
Do you feel like that? I'm so sorry,
No, go
guys.
ahead, go ahead.
Do you feel like do you have a formula in your approach of dancing? Because everybody think that the formula is you top rock, you do some footwork and a freeze. But there's some
Yeah.
people that will skip steps, won't top rock, they won't do any. Like, what is your formula when you say you execute? How do you approach your dance? Like, when you go in it, do you think about like not looking like anybody else? How do you block that? I mean, I'm throwing 20 questions.
Yeah,
at you,
no.
but-
This is a good question. I mean, a lot of variants. I know that when I first started making up movements, my goal was to get as much information as possible, see what was done, and then make sure that my shit did not look like that. Or even take moves and flip them so far removed that there was just no way you could source it, I mean, there's only so many fucking crayons in the box, right? Same thing with breaking. There's only so many moves in breaking. You can only flip them so many different ways, but that's where you add more of your personality and you actually add some kind of signature to what you're doing. But like I said, there's only so many things you can possibly do. So every time I did something, I would make sure that it was done the way in which I enjoyed it, or I liked doing it, or I curated that movement.
Oh, we have a question real quick.
Sure.
Again, thank you for everybody tuning in to B-Boy News Live. Please chat away. We're going to have also a call line so you can call in and talk to PA yourself, or if you have a question for us, please call in. We have a number at some point. Maybe it'll pop up now, but we will have a call line within the podcast. But that being said, we do have a question. Just, PA, how did you get that name?
Paranoid Android. It's a Radiohead reference, obviously.
Yeah,
more
I figured.
so,
That's I had that down. I was going to ask.
More so, it's Douglas Adams' character from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is Marvin the Paranoid Android. He's a depressed robot that
Right, yeah.
complains about life all day.
Is his name Paranoid Android?
Yeah, Marvin the Paranoid Android.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting.
How long have you had that name? Like, did you have it before you were breaking?
I had it for the first time. I think I battled in California when I had to like make a decision. Right, you're like stepping up. And
Right.
You're like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna start battling. And then I had to like figure out what I was gonna be called, and that's what I was attached to at the time.
So you chose that name for yourself?
I chose that name for
Oh,
sure. Yeah,
interesting.
which is like untraditional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of like your thing. It's
Yeah.
kind of like...
Just do it yourself.
Yeah.
People never let me do anything. You
No.
know, you ask for forgiveness
I like
later,
that.
or never ask for
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Yeah.
But that's why I appreciate you having me on the show, because I want to have different people's... We both want different voices and
Yeah.
different opinions on breaking, because it is always on the left and the right, and it's like there doesn't have to be a left or right. There could be a middle. I
everything.
want to know everybody's
Yeah.
thing, everybody's opinion. Speaking of going in the past, I actually got a question from Millhouse, your crew member.
Yeah.
He said, ask about the tattoo on his forehead, LOL, and how he got down with the crew. He has a good vandalism story behind that. Can you talk about
How'd
that?
you get down with Knuckleheads, man?
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, of course you guys like this story. Yeah, for sure. There was, oh God, there was a long period, probably like a 5-year stint of breaking and drinking, I think, that was going on.
Bad boy.
Yeah, weird. And when I first got down with Knuckleheads, well, first off, Gordy, Flexum,
Shout out to Flexum.
yeah,
Shout out to
Flexum.
Pal.
Gordy and I started breaking together and started entering competitions, and this is when I was still in Sour Patch, and things really started clicking and understanding that this is a direction in which I wanted to go with my dance, which is a creative, a competitive, and with this group of people that I wanted to continue to grow with.
Right.
And that started me off with that. The tattoo on my forehead says Knuckleheads. Go figure. And Millhouse was talking about the time we went to fucking some club out here, and I was out of my mind wasted.
Sounds
and
like a good story.
Fucking bombed on a bank with fucking spray paint and wrote KH and
Oh shit.
yeah.
That
That's
sounds
awesome.
like good times.
Did you get arrested?
No,
Good.
not that time.
I once stole candy from 7-Eleven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm a
the
rebel without a
one-
cause.
You got arrested
One
though.
thing, yeah. Did you get arrested for
No,
that?
you didn't.
No, I didn't. Well, speaking of the knuckleheads tattoo, tattoos in general, I mean, I think that's also showing the outside of your approach, not just the within, but physical approach. Like, what's up with, like, when did you start getting tattoos? Because, I mean, you definitely had tattoos before Smurf and myself. I think when I saw you, like, back at freestyle session, you were pretty heavily tattooed on the arms and stuff like that.
I started getting tattooed when I was 17 years old. I fucking hate tattoo questions. I think anywhere I go, and I'm sure you guys get this too.
Yeah,
is-
we get it all the time.
Yeah, a million tattoo questions. It's the most annoying thing you could possibly do, but it's our fault, obviously. But in terms of tattoos, I think a lot of it was really like rebelling when I was younger, like against this establishment and this idea that you had to look a certain way, etc. So I was fucking 18 when I got my first face tattoo, and a lot of the intention behind it was the fact that I never wanted to work a fucking job where I couldn't be who I was.
Right.
Right? That I couldn't fall within this, like, I had to fucking suit up and be this cookie cutter person that got in a fucking desk or some bullshit.
Right.
And as a result, I've never ended up in a place like that.
Right,
and that's
right.
because I've just jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had both feet in.
Do you ever feel like having so many tattoos is like a negative, like when you walk into a room, or do you feel like that negative, you turn into a positive once they find out who you are? And
Man,
like,
I think it's a good filter on if people suck or not, right? If people are going to judge you based on how you look, and this is not just limiting to tattoos, but it's a ton of different things. It could be your ethnicity, your background, where you came from, where you're raised, doesn't matter. It filters people out of your life right away.
Yeah,
Because if someone's
true.
not willing to sit down and talk to you, then you don't need them in your life.
you don't gotta waste your time.
Yeah, exactly. It's a quick filter.
Yeah. I want to ask you about you battling Bboy Machine, man. How did that happen?
Damn. My friend Rudy was throwing these events. Rudy was a dope promoter in Northern California for a while. There was a place called Element Lounge. We'd go and break.
Element Lounge.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Element Lounge was an SF on, I don't know, Geary? No, not Geary. I don't know. It was somewhere around there. What was dope is that prior to this battle, I walked into Element Lounge one night and I just got done with the performance and I had like face paint on. This battle's like online. It's I walk into Element Lounge and fucking my friend Rudy's throwing the event.
Yeah.
And he has a list and he's just like, he kind of knows the B-boys and he's like, yo, this is gonna fucking, he's like, Rock's Right's entering tonight. And I was like, you're shitting me, this is dope. He's like, it's gonna be you, Roxy, in the finals. Like, he kind of, like
You
set it
kinda
up
figured.
a little bit. Yeah, he figured it and I was like, give me Roxy first round. I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. I want to battle with you right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you fucking serious? So, yeah, dude, it's fucking, why else am I here?
Right.
Right? Like, if you're not going to compete against the best people at your fucking top level, which is going to be your first couple rounds,
Yeah.
right? Which is kind of what you want. That's like an ideal scenario. And fucking went 2 rounds with Rox, right? And had a fucking tiebreaker. Lost in the tiebreaker because one of the guys didn't think I was a B-boy. But it was fucking dope. And that guy, through this battle, and he wanted to know who I wanted to. You wanted to know who I wanted to exhibition. I told Machine, because Machine's the fucking baddest. Like, when it comes to like breaking and this idea of like what encompasses, or maybe this caricature of what a b-boy is, you know,
Right,
someone
right.
that well represents the culture, the idea, can fucking intertwine in and out. Is one of the best freestyle b-boys I've ever seen.
He knows a lot of music. He knows a lot of
yeah.
music. He's always on top
It's
of it.
phenomenal.
Shout out to
Then-
Machine.
Shout out to Machine.
Yeah, shout out to Machine. Then you only ever want to battle the best people, right?
Yeah,
People that are
no
going to
doubt.
challenge you. And that's what this came about. This first round, I fucking came out with my tall tee and my fucking fitted cap and a do-rag.
Dude, you don't even look the same right there.
Yep.
It's
Dude, I
crazy.
had a grill in too. I had a grill
Oh,
at time. Things
shit.
got weird in San Francisco.
weird fast.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, this is it. Came out the first round.
So
with
this wasn't planned out.
this?
Yeah.
I
Did it
mean, I
organically
planned this
happen?
out. Yeah, huh?
Did it organically happen at the event though, or was
What, this? Oh, no, I came prepared with this.
Okay.
Like what I would consider to be more traditional basic top rocks,
Right.
PA doing footwork.
You're a transformer. You're
Yep,
gonna look
there
like
you go.
like a
Throw
traditional
the hat,
PA
look
right
at
now.
that, dude. I didn't have a hat loss. I threw the hat. There's a difference,
Look
right?
good, man. You're looking good.
Little footwork, little spin, little throw, little bump.
Oh! Probably yelled too loud in the mic.
And this
right
is
there.
like one of those, I could do what you do type deals, right? But
Right.
I choose to do what I do. Fucking ill story, man. I saw the first time I ever saw Machine. I was going to B-Boy City back in the day. I would go there quite often, and I walked up to a circle, and you can hear him screaming fucking across the room. He's battling. He's having this fucking circle battle with Little John, and Machine is just screaming as loud as he can. I can do it all as loud as he can. It's fucking hilarious.
Damn.
That's funny. Confidence is key.
I can do it all too, you know.
What speaking of battling, what do you think about I see this a lot nowadays, at least right now. The whole kind of battling aspect is completely flipped upside down. So it's like it's more important to be competitive on the stage,
Yeah.
and less really organically doing a healthy exchange against one-on-one in the cipher.
Yeah.
And now that the cipher is like this, it's kind of like it's like too B-boy in a sense. Like it's just like you have to battle someone, or it's like, you know, there's no healthy exchange, whether it's a conversation by just dancing to the same rhythm of the music and having a good time, and then maybe getting into the battle slowly. But now it's just so forced. Like it's like set up as the competition stage. It's set up in the cipher now. It's like both the same thing. It's like people are in line to battle that one dude. In the cipher, I feel like we're losing a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That being, you know, I know that it goes around full circle, but it's a little weird right now. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, breaking can never be the same.
Right.
Right? There's just too much information out. There's too much work cited. Let's say when you and I started breaking, that we didn't get a fucking video till a year later or some
Sure,
shit, right?
yeah.
So maybe someone was doing the same shit as us.
Right.
And we had no idea.
Right.
So we'd find out fucking, you know, way past when. But now, you know, everything's instantaneous, so work
Yeah.
is cited immediately.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, well, this person does that, and that person does that, and the melting pot is too big.
Yeah.
Right? The world's too big, and there's too many dancers. Not being a bad thing, but in terms of originality, sure, that makes it very
It
difficult.
makes it difficult to be original.
Which is great if you are, though, because that means you had to work, you know, 10 times as hard to be
Yeah.
original this day and age.
Oh, definitely.
But, I mean, B-boying is just competitive. Competition is just getting fucking bigger and bigger, and there's money involved.
Right.
There's more money involved.
Yeah.
You get fucking paid out for 16th place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's federations. I signed a fucking waiver for the first time in my life.
I know. I did
a month
too.
ago to fucking
did
to
too.
break.
It was funny. I was at when SBR got destroyed at freestyle session. We did like the prelims or whatever. We didn't care though. We were just in a weird mode. We were just like,
Is
whatever.
this Hawaiian shirt time?
No,
That
we
was
won.
the year
We won
after.
that.
One.
Yeah.
Okay, it's because of the Hawaiian shirt.
So
Shout out to Just Live.
yeah, shout out to Just Love. Mad shout outs to. But they were signing the papers, the waivers, and I was hiding in the back. And they're like, you have to sign. I'm like, yeah. And I like pretend. And then like I walk away, and some lady was like, Casper, I know you. You haven't signed ever. And like, come back. You have to sign. I tried to sneak out.
That was a
shit
turning
was
point
real.
for your breaking career.
Dude, that shit got real. I was like, head down, yes ma'am.
You
Fucking
had to sign a
school.
paper to break,
Shout out
dude.
to
Dude,
that lady.
it was crazy. But I think it's
That's
good.
crazy.
You know, there's negative within anything.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Why do you think it's good?
I think it's good, not the waiver. I'm saying I think it's good in the direction of what breaking's going, because it's good in a sense that it's moving fast. It's gonna grow without us, whether we agree or disagree.
True.
It's gonna keep moving, keep growing, and I like the fact that we can still help. You know, with breaking, there is no wrong, there is no right. It's your voice. You can, if you don't like this jam, then make your own jam, or just go somewhere else, break with your own
Yeah.
voice. If you don't like that music, break to your own music. You can do whatever. You can still have that freedom. So it being in the Youth Olympics or whatever this, if it's not my steez, it's, you know, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I say go for it, support it, as long as they support what we're doing, and just support each other and, you know, help each other grow. I think, you know, it like you said, it's moving so fast. It's bound to happen. It's bound to be on Netflix. Bound to, you know, do all this stuff. But there's always another side, and I think a lot of that stuff helps create the original stuff that people really want to see grow for themselves. Because you have something to compete now. You're going, I don't want this. Well, what are we gonna do about it? And something happens from it. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's enough room for everybody. You know, like if you're a b-boy that likes to do ciphers, there's enough space for you to do what you want to do with your cipher people.
Yeah.
And if you want to compete, there's enough competitions for you to compete. If you just want to
Absolutely.
practice gymnastics, then there's a lane for everybody. And I think that sometimes we like to invade people's options, like, yo, you can't do it like that because I'm not doing it like that. But there's enough room for everybody to exist. you know?
Yeah, I definitely believe that. One thing I think is one of the bigger issues, and I've always been an advocate for is more jobs in breaking. I think that's like the biggest issue. Sure, there's room for everyone to either cipher or compete or whatever, but there really isn't a lot of room for like jobs. And maybe that's because of the competitive nature of breaking, that everyone's like going heads up with each other, or not telling each other stuff, or getting gigs and keeping people out, or whatever.
Right.
I think that's, if anything, where there needs to be a shift. That was always my biggest issue with breaking. And I made like pretty good money breaking. Like I had a regular class going 5 days a week. I had fucking do a battle once every 2 weeks or whatever, getting paid anywhere from a couple $100 to a G or whatever.
How important do you think it is when you say creating jobs for you to build your own brand? And for those people, there's a lot of maybe younger b-boys out there that want to know how you build your brand and how you protected your name. How would you guide somebody to do that in order for them to be able to create a business out of their name?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing everybody needs to do is just learn a little like business ethic and understand how to like present what this product is and what breaking represents.
Right.
What the culture is, so that doesn't get lost in it, but additionally what the benefits are to just the rural public people, like just providing education and service or fitness or just a fucking class they can go sweat in or whatever.
Well, that's I want to get into the break wad that you're doing. I actually don't know a lot about this, and I would love to hear. And maybe for a lot of the viewers that are watching might not know, please talk about this because I know you're into a lot of things, and right now you're competing in breaking. You're also competing in weights, right? But you're doing something with both, and it's called break wad, right?
Yeah,
maybe you can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, break wad's an idea that we're going to nurture and try to develop, and it's just like anything else, it's constantly evolving. It's an idea that if you had gone back and started breaking, when we did, and we had more resources, more education, where would we be now? What would have changed?
Right.
Something that I think that our industry lacks, that other industries do not, is a solid amount of education when it comes to like physical fitness, taking care of yourself, having longevity. I mean, how many b-boys do you know have had knee surgery?
Right.
And how many of those b-boys could have been saved from having knee surgery had they learned how to foam roll or stretch properly, or maybe even stabilize their knees or squat a little more. So these are things that are more about like the health of our industry and longevity that I think should be looked at a little closer. I think, okay, here's a good example. So in fitness itself, running is considered the most dangerous sport. Why is that?
It wears out your knees.
Wears out your knees, sure. And this is why it's considered the most dangerous sport, is because everybody goes out running and they've never trained it as a skill. So if you ever had your uncle at a fucking wedding get drunk and try to break and got hurt the next day?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, why?
Because he doesn't break.
Because he didn't break,
Right.
right? Because he doesn't know how to do it as a skill. Doesn't know how to do it safely. So people go out running, they don't know how to run,
Right.
and
Start
they
boosting.
blow their shit out because they're running flat-footed, they're heel striking, whatever. So that's why it's considered one of the most dangerous sports, because people don't know how to do it and they go out and do it.
Right.
Doesn't matter. So a lot with breaking too is that we aren't given this formal education in terms of how to take care of our bodies, how to strengthen, how to develop. So we're just going out there and fucking throwing ourselves around. So now you're having like a lack of longevity in breaking from this higher output. I mean, some of the OGs can still move because their moves weren't as demanding or dangerous, right? And now we're getting blown out real quick. So other industries have this resource and we don't have it, which is an education in terms of how to take care of yourself, how to be more fit, how to move the needle in terms of your potential physically. And that's kind of what break wad is. Break wad isn't fucking Zumba classes for breaking. That's not what it fucking is. Break wad is how to warm up properly, how to build strength, how to condition properly so that you can fucking compete 10 rounds in and 10th round you feel good. One of the most boring things in battles is seeing fucking round 5 of the finals and people are losing because they just don't have stamina. They don't know how to build stamina. You can't just build stamina by breaking. Understanding that your body has different gears and how to tap into that and how to build that is essentially what makes you a better athlete. So Break Wad provides a little insight in terms of how to further your level of fitness, how to get stronger, how to get faster, how to condition properly for breaking safely, how to either get into positions or movements that are going to make your fucking knees last longer. So it's more of that. It's fitness for b-boys. It's not breaking for people that don't break. That's not what it is. I don't want to sell shit to people that don't do it, and that's fine if they want to do that. That's cool. Absolutely try it out. This is specifically for b-boys, so you can be better at b-boying. It's 3 days a week. It takes an hour to do, and you're probably going to add fucking 5 years to your game and a ton of endurance and strength and shit you couldn't do before.
And is this a class that you take, or is it going to be
an online program?
Online program.
It's an online program.
Is there a website?
There's a website. Yeah, you go through breakwod.com, breakwod.com, and you sign up. It's Netflix for breaking.
Ooh, another waiver.
Another waiver, yeah. Sign another waiver. It's essentially it's Netflix for breaking, right? You pay fucking Netflix prices for
Right.
a monthly subscription. 3 days a week, you get programming, you do it, you add it to your breaking, you still have plenty of either time or energy to do your own stuff.
Well, you're paying for a good life as well and taking care of
Yeah,
your body. It's
yeah.
a little bit better than Netflix.
And
I'm very
education.
excited about it. I fucking love it. Really dope. Definitely check it out. The
what's,
website we'll have up, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll put the website
You can
link
see
in the
us now.
bottom.
We're got the little screen up.
I have a question. You talk about working out, doing things to preserve your dance for the long term, and sometimes I go online and I see people saying breaking is not a sport, it's a dance, and you're bringing the athleticism back into the dance.
I think I'm shedding light on the athleticism. I wouldn't say that athletic breaking is the best breaking by
Right.
any means.
But it's
I think-
a key point to it.
I think for people that just want to dance and preserve this culture, want to do it for longer.
Right.
Right? And this would enable them to do that. Yeah.
I love that. I love
Love
that.
it. Cool. So you guys just go to Breakwater, and we'll put the link in the bottom. We're gonna take some questions. I think we're gonna put the phone number up. If you guys want to call, talk to PA. We're gonna have you guys live on the air.
Yeah,
So can we get a phone number up?
let's get the number up. Pull up the questions real quick, Justin, please, and thank you.
Bruce Almighty's on the line. Yo, shout out to Bruce Almighty.
Shut up. No, he's not.
No, yeah, he is.
Exclusive.
What do you think about Bruce Almighty, man? Have you seen his dancing? He's really weird too. He has a weird style. I don't know if you noticed him break. Have you seen him break?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, man?
This is funny. This is a funny subject. I really, really fucking enjoy Bruce Almighty. I feel like people have argued with me on this. From an original standpoint, when I look at a dancer, I don't look at like, oh, and I'm not saying this about Bruce, I'm saying this in general, I don't look at like, oh, this is this move, their move, this has this lineage, because this day and age, if you do that, you can't watch anybody break.
Yeah.
So when I watch Bruce Almighty and I see him on a platform like BC1 a couple years in a row, it's the dopest thing on the planet to me.
Yeah.
Because he's representing an idea that I that I wanted to do, for example.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking be original.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
around, have fun.
Yeah.
Present new ideas and do it against b-boys that are revered for being the opposite of the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's fucking dope.
Yeah.
But
Dope.
that's
I think the main point too is new ideas. I think
Yeah.
that's what we need in breaking in
on
general.
higher platforms.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like what you're doing with this, just like how B-Boys like Bruce Almighty, BC1, new ideas is just gonna help just this culture grow. And I
Because
love
there aren't a lack of new ideas, but there are a lack of new ideas on higher platforms. So when
Sure.
you watch footage, you're watching coverage of a circuit of breaking
Right.
that is being covered by either the same people, which is they're fucking dope. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing coverage. But if you're on a circuit of breaking, you're gonna see the same people on that circuit almost
Right.
repetitively, and more so you're gonna see them in final battles, which you're not gonna get coverage of prelims
Right.
all the time. So you're gonna miss out on potentially these new ideas. So now you're being force fed, or like what Netflix does. Netflix front loads movies
Right.
that you know you're gonna like. So
Right.
they front load information they think caters to you, which is kind of what happens with breaking, inadvertently. We don't mean to do it, but we're front loading information in terms of like, this is what good breaking is. This is what successful breaking is. This is what the highest level of breaking is. And it's a lot of the same people in final battles or semifinals. There's the same, maybe 32, 50 people being
Yeah.
rotated right now
Just
in the United
rotated, yep.
States. And that's how it's been for a while. Same thing with BC1.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same fucking, at least 8 of them that you've
For
seen
sure.
the last
Oh,
8
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
True.
So that's front loading information. We're not getting new information.
Are you doing BC1?
No.
I thought you were.
Road to BC. You're doing Road to BC. You did a qualifier in Vegas.
I saw something like that.
A while ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Okay, but not right now.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
How did that go?
Oh, so bad. Yeah.
Really? They hated on you?
Oh, it's horrible. I did it like
So
I did
bad.
it too late, right? So there's like this thing that comes with breaking where you're like really jaded, and you guys wouldn't know anything about it. Where you become really jaded with breaking. I definitely showed up hungover / drunk to my
Nice.
one opportunity to go to BC.
Definitely don't know anything
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I never done that.
You guys don't start drinking. Whatever you do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Horrible
drink.
idea.
We won't.
Definitely not
Okay.
gonna drink.
Oh, can you hand me one?
Oh yeah, here you go.
Right.
You-
Right.
Yvonne, you want one?
Do you know this story about the Chinatown bar?
Oh,
No.
don't tell him. Tell
Yo,
him.
tell me.
dude.
I want to know.
Um,
Owen, man.
This is great. So
yeah, you tell
I'm
the story.
fucking. It's like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I'm wasted. It's at a beat swap meet. We're in a Chinatown bar, and this guy and myself sit down, and we're just having this drunken, elongated conversation about how great we could be, or how high we can go, the level we could go to with our lives, had we stopped being drunken maniacs.
Right.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
at this
yeah.
point I fully was a drunken maniac. We have this conversation about our potential, about what that means. And the next day, I fucking sobered up, and I didn't drink again for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I started doing CrossFit.
And it was funny, like, the next time I saw him, I was like, hey, you want to grab a beer? And he was like, I don't drink. And I'm like, when? Since when? He's like, you don't remember the conversation we had? And I
he was
like,
serious.
Yeah, no, but I was like, what conversation? Like, I didn't even know.
What
like,
conversation.
That's
Good.
funny, man.
yeah.
It's a very
Good
sober
times.
moment.
Cheers to that, Smurf.
Cheers to
Yeah,
that, bro.
cheers
Cheers
to
to
that.
that.
You get the ice brew.
You get the coffee.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Okay.
There you go.
The
Boom.
boils.
Boom. You have a family, man. You have a beautiful daughter, man. We check her out on Instagram. She's
Thank
cute.
you. Thank
What?
you.
What?
Yeah.
All right. No, it's
Yep.
fine.
How's your family?
Good, good. Yeah, I have a 5-year-old daughter. She's fucking, the same thing any parent would say, which is the greatest kid on earth. She's funny. She has her own character and understanding of the world. I watch the way that she computes things and like puts things together and educates herself and learns from others. And it's just like anything else. It's like any other learning process. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Would you ever like her to follow in your footsteps within?
Oh man, she don't want shit to do with breaking
No.
or working out.
No.
Nope, want nothing to do with it. But I think that's a good thing. Like
It
I
is.
didn't.
You don't push it, do you?
I know. Fitness a little bit.
Little
Like I
bit,
trick her.
little bit.
Like
You
I'll
have to.
threaten
Fitness,
her.
you have to.
I'll be like, you can't do that.
Right,
And
right,
she's
right.
real tough. She's like, I can do that. But I didn't want to follow my parents' footsteps. You
Right.
know, that would have led me a whole different way. I think this, at least my rebellious nature, was to do something different, right? And hopefully that'll be hers too.
Do you feel like having a kid helped you out in your career? Like it was more of an inspiration for you? Like 'cause I know there's a lot of people out there that would say, "Oh, I had a kid, I had to stop breaking." Like, how did you deal with that?
No, I don't think it affected me in those ways. I think some people, I mean, this is like a dick thing to say, but I think some people use that idea as like a scapegoat to really get out of something. But just like anything else, not just kids, but anything that comes up in your life, oh, this happened, my wrists, I can't do it anymore.
Or work.
Work, yeah, I got a job, can't do it. If you want to do something, fucking do it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've gone broke and hungry so many times in my life that I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna die.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. I think that's like always been my attitude with breaking in every aspect of my life. I refuse to compromise. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like everyone else that I've seen that's very unhappy.
Yeah.
So that's been a huge factor for me. Is
Right.
just being happy.
I think there's something there where it's like when you come from nothing, it really helps you as a person. Like it builds character.
Yeah.
We have a question actually, completely off the topic, but
Is Knucklehead Zoo? You want to read it?
go ahead.
Is Knucklehead Zoo with Knucklehead's Cali, or is it just a coincidence?
This person doesn't know. Knucklehead Zoo, Knucklehead's Cali, I'm not the authority to speak on it. What it is just like anything else in breaking, right? People grow up together. You guys start out breaking together. You guys stop being friends because you got an argument about something, and you still want to be concrete, and you still want to be concrete, and you go to different things, and you're fucking concrete fucking West LA, and you're concrete Venice, and
It is what it is.
and it is what it is. And
It
you
is
grow
what it
apart
is.
and you do your own thing. But that's like, it's also like a very much a thing of the past. Like two very different entities, two very different ideas. And I think that part is like self-explanatory when you see both groups. But we have, nothing but respect for them, obviously.
Cool.
PA, how do you balance family and breaking in your life?
Sleep 8 hours a night, right? Don't
do.
lose sleep. I think the way I balance the way I do, my friend told me is the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So I fill every single day with everything that I can possibly do that I want to do,
Yeah.
right? And I have a job that has to do with what I enjoy doing, which is education, which is fitness, which is moving, which is, talking to people and public speaking and fucking laughing and playing music. And I find balance in everything because I'm consistently doing what it is I want to do.
Right.
Period.
That's beautiful.
Maybe you could tell them. I'm curious as well, but like your idea, like, is it important to step out of breaking and have other things to do? Do you think that helps you not just within life, but within your dance, like writing and the other stuff that you do?
Fucking for
Good question.
So
sure.
maybe you could just talk a little bit about that.
B-boys that just break are my least favorite people. And most of the greatest B-boys I've ever known draw influence from a lot of different places, have a lot of different backgrounds,
Kung
and
fu, all that stuff.
they have more to offer the world. Additionally, if you don't invest in other parts of the world, your dance will never change. For starters, maybe you'll be good, maybe you'll be competitive good, but I think there's a difference between the highest competitive level of breaking and being someone that's inspiring. I think there's motivation and there's inspiration.
Yeah.
And I think there's plenty of motivating b-boys out there.
Yeah.
And very few inspiring b-boys.
Yeah.
And inspiring b-boys aren't fucking first place holders.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
What was the question?
The question, no, you're on the right track. Everything you said is good. I'm just, no, we were just, you do a lot of different things.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
doing different
important,
stuff.
yes, right.
Man, I fucking implore people to do different stuff. Because one of the biggest issues is there aren't jobs in breaking.
Right.
So if you're going to bank on breaking the rest of your life, you're fucking, like, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I support you. Be the one that kind of, like, figures it out and figures it out for other people. But be worldly minded in terms of other things so that you can bring other stuff to the table, so that you can have, you know, either a business background or a public speaking background, education background.
Yeah.
But if you think you're going to get away with just fucking breaking forever, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps you breathe a little too. To just kind of step out of the whole b-boy arm and let go and try other things, whether it's physical, writing, and all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Learning different things, other ideas. I think it just helps you creatively in general. You know, I talk about it a lot. Just even dancing is just like, I get asked, well, you know, how do you train? How to do it? Like, just do you. And you know, if you want to try different things, try skateboarding, try surfing, try other things. It's going to help you physically. It just helps you grow as a person. And with breaking, like dancing to different styles of dancing, with putting that, like house dancing, all that, dancing to different styles of music, it can only help you grow. It's not going to pull you back. It's just going to keep making you go forward.
You just want ammunition, you know, like you want to have access to different information so you can become the better expression of yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. People need to just educate themselves. That's number one.
That's a good question.
Someone said, PA, what's your thoughts on that being said? I say that being said a shit ton on this podcast.
That being said, all right,
That's
with
your
that being
control.
said,
That's your fallback.
Oh,
That being said,
it's my
I gotta put it on.
Colt 45, bro.
damn.
yo, I gotta give
my
big shout
W.
outs to my brother Roland from the Battleborn crew.
Oh, shout out
We're
to
gonna
Roland.
watch Roland versus PA.
Oh shit.
Somebody's just requesting it, so.
Sure.
Oh yeah, they did. I thought you were lying.
No, I'm not. This is right there. Somebody put it
I
up.
don't know if that's online.
Make sure to call in. Thank you for everybody tuning in. This is B-Boy News Live Podcast. I got myself, Casper, Smurf, our special guest, Paranoid Android. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody that stayed tuned in. Make sure you subscribe and comment and like below so we can keep putting out content like this every week. We're going to put on another video. This is another battle, Paranoid Android versus Roland.
As we watch this battle, PA, who in your eyes is the up and comer now, or like kids that in the past 10 years that you see that you're like, okay, I like this originality. This shit looks dope. Like somebody that's moved you. Besides Thesis.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Bruce Almighty. That was for sure on my list.
Okay,
Yeah.
respect.
It's a short list.
Short list.
It's a short list. Wow.
No, there's plenty of other people. I mean, I'm gonna fucking rant and rave all day about my crew.
Of course.
And I'm in that crew.
Well, then rant and rave
because-
about your crew,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. I mean, I'm in this crew because these are some of my biggest inspirations, period. I think they're people that have consistently pushed the envelope that,
Oh, I think everybody in your crew definitely did that.
yeah. And those are the people that I've always thought are really pushing it. So I'll try to say other people that aren't in my crew, but that's really where I gain a lot of my inspiration or like motivation or keep up. It's just fucking my crew members. One of my favorite, my absolute favorite b-boys is my fucking crew member Fanatic, and he's like fucking super, hasn't been breaking in a while, and was one of the most inspirational b-boys I had seen because he had taken a genre that I think had already necessarily maybe had been done and just fucking reinvented it, right? Like, he took this like flexible genre and just push the envelope on it. And I think it's just the way he stylized it, or maybe just the way he performed.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things about b-boys in general is just how do you perform?
Right.
There's b-boys that just, this comes natural. This is the fucking easiest thing on the planet for them. They're gonna hop in and out of an air chair and like fucking laugh, and it's just like, all right, that was like really easy for you. That was good. And then there's people where it's like they're gonna stick an air chair, and you can tell that it's like
There's stickiness.
like you got it, but you barely got it. Like it was a true human effort, right?
Well, I like that.
So, like you can tell when people are trying, and when people just have it down and they're just fucking, they're just running it. They're just running the moves. So the idea is a true human effort. Like when someone is really fucking trying, and everything to them, you can tell doesn't come easy, and they've had to work for every inch, and you can see it when people dance. And I think, like, not to fucking toot my own horn, but I think this is like one of the things that I've dealt with because none of these moves have ever come easy to me. When I started breaking, other people were way better than I was very easily, and people were like, there was people that I'd run with, and I'm like, okay, obviously you're the natural, and I'm fucking the guy that just has to like work for it every fucking day, and I've outlasted those people, and that's kind of what allowed me to stay consistent and to grow as a b-boy was that everything was a struggle, and everything was this true human effort, this like maximum effort of me trying. When I battled Cujo, I had just got this fucking move down, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. This is the biggest risk, and I'm gonna go for it. And it was this inside one-handed air flare, and I caught that motherfucker. And that was like, when you watch it, you don't think he's got that move down. You're like, he caught it. Like, you're like, oh shit. And that's what I really like to see when I see people break, is this like true human effort.
Moment.
Well, it's going back to struggling, just like what we were talking about, past, present, future. It's like it's good to be uncomfortable. It's good to have a fight still in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree. I feel the same way within my breaking, and I always say to Luigi, because Luigi's favorite b-boy in Battle Squad is Storm, and I'm like, well, that makes sense because he kind of has that. You know, you could just tell him do a backspin air flare 90, and he can do it like, you know, like nothing in his flip-flops. And for me, I'm more like Swift Rock, where you see Storm's halos, they're like pretty legs and like perfect straight, and then you see Swift Rock and he's fighting each twist, and he's barely, but it's so nasty because you can relate, you can see that he's fighting for that halo rather than Storm just kind of like making it very good and correct form, but you see Swift Rock just kind of going rah, rah, and I've always thought the same way with my breaking, and Luigi and myself, like together, it's a good little balance, you know? But I really love your crew because of that. I feel like everybody has, you know, their shit together, even though you guys are a bunch of wild boys. It's like, I like that with Concrete too. Like, I mean, like, we're all like fucking crazy lunatics, but like, we all have our own original style, and we all are creative and help each other. Like, you guys are a real crew, and you can see that not just in front of the cameras and in front of the competition. I see that at the bar, I see that outside of the event, I see it every day. I see it how Flexum talks about the crew, I see it how you talk about the crew, and I like that. It's inspiring, and I feel like b-boys need to do that, b-girls need to do that with this generation, because it's mainly about you, I, but it's also a team effort. These people are helping you grow, you're helping them grow, and it's important to keep a real solid crew and have real friends with you, because it's only going to help you further, you know, like, just,
Well, nowadays it's really difficult to have real crews because all these events cater to the one-on-ones,
2-on-2s.
So like a lot of people are like, you know, they could get popular and they could get fame just be doing solo battles. You know,
I don't think it's harder to have real crews. I think it's just easier. I think it's just easier to win fucking without one, which I think is bullshit. Because I think everyone's having these complaints about real crews. I don't have a problem with super crews. Whatever. Like, fucking the best group of people is gonna win. Period. That's fine. It's a competition. But this complaint about how there aren't real crews, now that's just the crew's fault. Right? Because a lot of times they'll sub in a person maybe just because they want to win today. Right? And they know that fucking, you know, whoever the fuck, you know, Blind Willie is gonna fuck it up for them. So they don't call him up. They call up the guy from Executioners or whoever, made up people. Just to win these fucking battles. So I think that's kind of like a fucking bullshit cop-out. Right. Yeah.
But what about with the like a company, Coca-Cola and shit? Like now, like I feel like sometimes kids look up and like, I don't need to join a crew because I could get paid by Coca-Cola to join this crew. I'd rather join this crew of like superstars than to like create something from scratch. Like Knuckleheads was something you guys created. Like it wasn't something given to you guys that was already big. You know, like. Do you think that might happen with the kids nowadays? I
mean, you reap what you sow, right? Like, so if you get signed on for something that's maybe not real, and I'm not commentating on any of these fucking, you know, company crews, but what I will say is that if you get drafted onto a crew, then you're gonna miss elemental things that happen organically when building a crew.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
And maybe over time, sure, maybe you guys become fucking best friends, and you guys have your routines, and you have your inside jokes, and maybe it becomes a great thing.
Right.
I don't know, but I know that there is a big difference between building a crew and getting fucking drafted into one. When it comes to these companies and breaking, I think it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, right? Depending on the company or whatever, I think things just need to be transparent. I think things aren't as transparent as they should be. Let's say fucking Toyota is sponsoring this whole fucking group of people and they're putting on whoever, or maybe they're putting on their friends. At the end of the day, it's great that there's more jobs in business and breaking. We want more money in breaking. Right. When you get a job with Toyota, it would be advantageous for you to help the rest of the community understand what it's worth. So if Toyota's only paying you $50 a month to look like an asshole and wear a Toyota suit, then you're maybe losing out, and maybe you are selling out. But if Toyota's fucking paying you $600 a month and you're taking care of your family and it's supporting your fucking local youth centers, then maybe it's dope.
Yeah.
And they need to know that. I think there just needs to be a better price point on braking.
Absolutely. I
Right?
agree.
So when someone asks me, hey, how much is fucking an hour private? I'll say this number, and they're either going to pay it or they're not, but I know what my price point is.
Right.
Right? So
You
if
have
you
your
ask
shit
other
together.
B-boys, like, what's your price point?
Yeah.
You know, how much do you judge for? How much do you this for? And the more people that don't know their price point are filtering good people out because
Right.
they're just
They're just
selling
doing
it for
it cheaper.
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck selling out. Shout out to Showgrow.
Big sponsors.
Also, a shout out to Ian. He paid us $10.
Damn,
big shouts to Ian.
Ian, thank you. Again, you guys can donate. It helps us just do this every week. Again, thank you for tuning in to B-Boy News Live. We have a question. Go up because it was a really good question. If you can go up, Justin.
We're gonna get back to Robert Anderson.
Wait,
We're gonna
wait.
get to your question.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to Robert. Keep going. This is a good question. Keep it going, Buddy Jones. I think.
Why is Bruce
right here,
Almighty
right here, right here.
commenting?
PA, what's your diet to stay fit? Because I can't stay away from fast food.
Okay, well,
This one's smoky.
What's your diet? I mean, he's joking,
yeah,
or maybe
absolutely.
he isn't.
Yeah,
But
he's not joking. Stay away from fast food. Diet's really simple. Again, another area where I think that people are just undereducated. This is why I'm starting this fucking program, because B-boys just need resources and education.
Right.
Period. If we all fucking ate a little better, everything would be a lot easier. Nutrition is simple if you understand portions, all right, and how to control those portions. There's apps available that help you with this. There's an app called MyFitnessPal. You literally just fucking enter what you're eating that day, and it starts to show you that this is how much protein
Sugars.
you're allowed to have.
Oh,
This is how
wow.
much sugar. This is how much that. And once you start entering what you're eating
Right.
and how much of it, those bars start to fill up. So it's just like anything else. The problem with people is that I give you $20 and you go out and you buy a fucking, a hat that costs $50 and now you're fucking in debt.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to eat 20 grams of fucking protein right now, and you go out and you eat 50 fucking grams from McDonald's.
Right.
Or, or 50 grams of fat, or you go over in something, and now you're in debt for the next couple days, and now your body's just starting to fucking fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, going from there, what usually is your like daily routine for eating? Like, what do you eat on a usual basis?
Man, I eat like 70 grams of fat a day, which isn't a lot.
Right.
But it's important.
What does
part
that
of the
mean?
process.
Like vegetables?
With fats,
what is
like,
it? What is your actual meal?
My actual meal is fucking chicken, rice. I
Okay.
do a lot of my own cooking. For breakfast, I'll eat fucking maybe an egg or just egg whites.
Egg whites.
For breakfast, some Ezekiel bread. It's sprouted, shit like that. There's a meal supply company we order from. They deliver meals for us. They're already curated and have like the nutritional readout on it, so we kind of
Do you
understand.
ever
Blue
have
Apron?
cheat meals or like cheat days?
Yeah, like one day a week we'll do a thing.
Yeah,
We'll go out and my fiance and I will go out and have like a fucking cheat meal or an item or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important? Like you just said, your fiance. Is it important for like your lover, your best friend, to be in the same type of diet? Because sometimes you might want to eat
yeah,
good and
dude.
your person doesn't, and that conflict.
Yeah,
how important
buddy
is that?
system, dude. Absolutely. I mean,
Helps each other for
she's-
sure.
Yeah, dude. My girl's my fucking rock, man. I keep my shit together because of her, and that's like the point of finding any good partner. Whether it be like whether it's your partner or your best friend or whatever. Like create systems of like or in groups of people that you want to be more like or you want to like help advance. Like you wouldn't want to be around. You wouldn't hang out with fucking I don't know. Computer programmers,
Right.
All fucking day, or people that
Shout out
just
to
aren't
Justin.
conducive. Shout out to your boy
Shout out
Justin.
to Justin.
People that aren't conducive to what you're doing, or people that were professional fucking yo-yoers. It's just like anything else. You build your surrounding and what you want to do.
And what you want to become, because sometimes you're right. Your friends are a reflection of who you are.
Yeah, for
and your
sure.
surroundings are as well.
Yeah,
So,
have better friends.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should get back to some questions because
Let's
they've
get-
been popping up.
Yeah, let's go down a little bit. What do we have? Well, there was Robert. Go up a little bit to Robert, if you could, if you will. Thank you, everybody that's tuned in and stayed tuned in. This is B-Boy News Live Podcast with Paranoid Android.
We're going to put the phone number up. Can we put the phone number up? We're going to take some phone calls. And should I read this, Cass?
Yeah, read that.
All right. Thank you, Papa Bear. How have you dealt with brick walls, PA? And you're breaking when you reach those points where you maybe the inspiration is gone, or dry, or you become bored with your arsenal.
Yeah, good. Enjoy those moments. Those are the best moments of your career. That means that you're either going to have a breakthrough or you're going to quit, right? Like, if you actually hit a wall and you don't know what the fuck to do, it's probably because you're bored of your own shit. You've used every move that you know, and now you either have to learn something new or change things up. So I think those are the best moments in breaking. Hit a fucking wall. Hit them more often and embrace them, because that means you're actually trying to do something. If you never hit a wall and you just have this complete comfort with where you're at, then you're not going to fucking grow, right?
You gotta get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know?
This is kind of a silly question, but there are new viewers coming in, but why do you not compete?
Because competition's stupid.
It's hard. It's hard.
No,
You just competed.
I just
We
competed.
talked about this earlier.
Yeah, but I took 3 years off. This is fair. Because I competed for fucking 10 years, right? Like, over 10 years I competed, and then I did, fucking 5+ years of judging, workshops, lectures, everything. So when I took a break from my breaking career, I completely started doing CrossFit and did nothing else. I just engulfed myself in a new idea, a new culture, a new way of learning, and that's why I took that break from breaking.
Right.
Because if I'm not doing it, then I'm not going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to half-ass my breaking and pretend like I still break and burn out and show up to a jam and do fucking nonsense that I haven't been practicing. I'm just not going to fake it.
Right.
So when I wasn't doing it, I wasn't doing it. And now that I'm doing it again, yeah, I competed.
I don't have the whole story, but it's a cool story. Maybe you could talk about how you got into the CrossFit, because you told me how you got into it.
What did I tell you?
Correct me if I'm wrong. My facts are always wrong.
Okay, tell me.
Bboy News.
Yeah, Bboy News.
Bboy
always have
News.
the shitty facts. But no, it was something where you some guy helped you out in a hard place.
Yeah.
And it was basically you were paying him off by kind of getting
By
involved.
working there, yeah,
So
for
maybe you
sure.
can talk about that a little bit. Not,
Yeah.
it's a cool story. I think it's really cool. I mean, it's what we're talking about, helping each other out.
Yeah, for
now
sure.
look at you. You're the dude. You know,
I'm the dude.
You're the
I'm
Wolf
the-
of
yeah.
Wall Street.
When the first time I ever saw it was 2 years before I started doing it. I saw it in like 2012. They were doing a workout. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I didn't know what a burpee was, and they had me do burpees, and it was. I know what it is now. It's like it's a known workout, and it's a known fucking shitty workout. And it's 7 minutes of burpees, as many as you can, which doesn't sound like much.
No, that sounds terrible.
But it was the worst feeling I ever had. Yeah, it's a jail workout. Worst feeling I ever had, and I knew right then that I needed to come back to this idea. Like, what was this? The first time I ever saw it was in Tucson, and I saw this guy, Chris Gartrell, and he was like the most fit person I've ever seen in my life. I was like, I don't understand how you get that fit. And then years later, when I moved to LA, I was still breaking, still drinking, still a little out of control, and I knew I wanted to check this thing out. So I went downtown, and I found someone, and they treated me like garbage. He was a total fucking asshole, and it was kind of like my upbringing in breaking, to be honest with you. Like, you get treated like shit a little bit at first.
For sure.
Which is kind of like what I was used to, and I was like, I can deal with this. I can deal with this guy's bullshit. And he allowed me to do trade, basically, like help him with his gym, to like get an education there, to take free classes, and I fucking ran with it. Like, anybody gives you an opportunity to learn something for free or gain a new trait, just eat a shit sandwich and learn it.
But I love that. I feel like that's kind of the main key of this podcast. We're talking about struggling and like pushing yourself, like not giving up and being uncomfortable and just fighting through it, and then learning from it, and like you where you're at now. It's amazing. It's incredible. And I love that about breaking. And I hope that, I'm sure there is, like, because there's so many b-boys, but I hope there's a lot of b-boys out there that are not giving up when someone says you're whack, or you can't do this, or you can't hang with me. Like K-Mel was fucking asshole to me. I carried his laundry because that's how I was going to learn breaking. It was like that stupid kung fu stuff.
Yeah.
He would leave me in the Bronx, and like if I wanted to break, he would put on a CD. I had to break for like 12 tracks by myself. Like,
Good.
I became friends with someone, like a little kid, and he'd like smoke him, and I'd be like almost crying, like I don't want to smoke him. But it made me better. It made me better.
Yeah, it made you better.
Like, he was a fucking dick, but it allowed me to kind of tap into something that is way beyond me, because his teacher, Quickstep, was probably even worse, and from so on and so on. So I'm getting a little tap into that world, and then experiencing it within myself, and then kind of creating my own story. So I think it's cool, like, and I hope a lot of you watching, like, just don't give up. If you have something that you really want to fight for it. whether you get beat up just get up and keep doing it. Read a question. Read a fucking question.
Just to add to that real quick, what PA just said about seeing an opportunity and running with it. I think that a lot of people need to be able to see opportunities when they're in front of you, especially when there's nothing attached to it, because a lot of people don't like doing shit if they don't get paid or if they don't get something out of it. And PA just gave us an example of how you can do something and not expect anything back and have something that'll change your mind, your whole life, and your lifestyle to a positive way. So
Hell yeah.
I think that's important. But should I read some questions?
I think you're important.
I think you're more important.
Do you want to kiss me? It's getting weird. All right, let's go. Read a
Workshops.
question.
Give a man some seafood or teach them how to fish.
All right. Yeah, I think I've heard that one
I think
before.
don't you have like
Yeah.
Isn't that like your workshop
That's a
of
saying.
your,
Yeah, that's a
so
saying.
explain that, because that's an inside joke apparently from somebody.
What did they say?
They
What
said
was it?
workshops. Quote: Give a man some seafood or teach him how to fish.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it's an old saying. It's you give someone a fish and you feed them for the day, or you teach them how to fish and you feed them for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically it's workshops. That's an inside joke by somebody. Can we go to a real question?
How many burpees can you do in 7 minutes? That's a real question.
That's a real question.
Fuck.
You better know this, bro.
Can you do it
Yeah,
now?
dude. Last time I did it, I think I can do more because it was paced out and it was a conditioning piece, and I did about 117.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's with a 6-inch touch. It's a different ball game, so you have to touch something above you. It changes the dynamic of the movement.
As a person that's obviously not as in great shape like you, what would be don't say quit drinking, because I'm just not there yet.
Okay.
Okay? I'm young, I'm dumb, and I'm full of cum.
I don't know
sorry.
if you are anymore.
I don't know. Dude.
Yeah, you're probably gonna stay
I'm
on.
tired. No, but real. Like simple things that can help you, not just the food, but physically, like the burpee thing or something
Yeah.
like that. What are like some
Easy.
things?
Yeah. So here's what people don't understand. Breaking is a pushing sport.
Right.
Right? There's no pulling involved. We don't pull in breaking.
Right.
Breaking is like very, it's very functional, but you have to push, and it's very plyometric based. So you have to like do clapping push-ups. Understand how to be explosive with your body, how to be good with your body weight. What I do, I would not suggest B-boys do.
Right.
I want to move heavy weight. I want to squat
No,
500 fucking pounds.
Yeah,
I
I see
wanna,
you push
you know,
cars and shit.
Yeah. So I want to do that. I wouldn't suggest that because in breaking, your legs are probably the lightest thing you have and one of your better assets.
It's like the sprinting aspect that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So you don't want heavy legs in breaking. Squatting gives you heavy legs. So you don't want to lift heavy necessarily too often, but you do want to understand how to build endurance. So if I were to give someone a basic program, I'd give them 3 days a week of endurance work, and I bet you anything they could break longer than they've ever been able to break and probably be sharper for longer. So a simple endurance program is 3 days a week of working each gear. Like I said, if I wanted you to get better casts, I'd fucking have you do a sprint day where it's faster. So like 3-minute intervals, you speed up and pace. A second day where you do like 7 minutes, like a longer range, and a third day where you do like a 45-minute workout.
Wow.
Something like
He's
that.
not dead.
That's not even. I mean, I'm sure it's fucking difficult, but I'm saying 45 minutes. That's a seller right there.
Well, 45 minutes could be a hike. You can go for a hike for 45 minutes. You keep your heart rate at a fucking $140, and you just keep it steady, and that starts to build different gears in your body in terms of endurance. Braking is like a 30-second interval thing.
It is.
You only
It
ever
really is.
break
Yeah,
for 30
true.
seconds, so that's an anaerobic thing. You are working in a phosphogenic system in terms of your body. Without getting into too much detail, what that means is you're an explosive athlete, which we already knew. But you're not an endurance athlete.
Right.
You're going to shit the bed on a fucking long run.
Yeah.
But if you were able to run for longer, if you were inclined to build your endurance in that way, you would find major results in your braking.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, I mean, David's a lot better now, but it's funny when he was training for the BC1, he was training like a fucking machine, like an animal.
Yeah.
But it was funny to me because, like, I was more in the mode than him. I was really on it and breaking and, like, getting crazy and, like, had a lot of stamina at the time, and I was, like, in it. And I was trying to break with him, but he was on this little set where he was, like, doing, like, Muay Thai and then, like, doing these little, like, counts and joggings. And then I was like, yeah, that's great. Like, 'cause he was in the best shape of his life, but he wasn't breaking at all. And I'm like, yo, you're doing BC1. How about you battle me? Like, let's battle each other. Let's work, because it's funny how the body works. It's like there's something that's good for your body, like physically, but then also you're breaking. It's not like a jogging thing. It's a whole different breathing technique.
practical
There's so much
application.
things. So he was in the best shape of his life, and it was really interesting to see him go to BC1 and literally tap out in the second round he was dying because he wasn't doing this in the battle. He wasn't lifting the things or running. He was breaking out, and the whole breathing and all this. It was a whole different world. So it's different. I really like what you're doing here because you're taking that aspect, but you're not giving up on the break. You're putting that to help the B-boys and the B-girls. And I feel like that's what we need because, like, I just seen, and that's why I think David's super stoked to be involved with your project because like, just going from that, it's like being in shape, being great at that, and then being great at breaking are two different worlds, right?
Yeah, two very different worlds.
And if you can combine both, man, that's incredible.
It makes it more fun.
Absolutely. A couple more questions.
All right, PA. Have you ever got jerked in a competition? How do you deal with losing in a battle you feel you clearly won? Sorry, I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
How do you deal with a battle you feel like you clearly won and the judges are just hating on your style?
I feel good about myself. I think this is like a major issue too, right? Like no one has, people lack grace. Like they don't know how to fucking lose, which is dope. Like if you want to stand up for yourself and you want to cause a scene, like that's your thing. That's tight. But you also entered a subjective competition where people are judging art, you know, that's not quantifiable. You know, you didn't win by, and this is what I love about CrossFit, is that if you won or lost, you won because you lifted more weight or you beat their time, right? Like that's quantifiable. But with breaking, it's just this painting's better than that painting. Right. You know, I like this painting more. And popular belief is that that painting's better, but it doesn't matter. You got outvoted. So what are you getting mad about? Right. You signed on for this.
You signed
on to get fucking jerked around, and now you're going to get mad about your decisions.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Losing's fucking like the biggest part of it. I've lost more battles than I've won, and I'm super down to fucking lose more. Well, that's where you learn.
Going back to building character, like you said earlier in the podcast, like some of the greats like never really won every competition. No. It's losing that helps you build, you know, character and a winner within yourself. You know, as cliche as it is, it's the truth. And I think it's not really so much about winning. It's not so much about battling that person as battling yourself. You know, that's the first opponent.
It's all about your objective. You want to make art, you know, or do you want to win competitions? You know, and I'm not saying there's not the latter. Sure, maybe you can do both. Yeah. But there's defining lines.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go, motherfucker.
All right. I was gonna say. All right. So we're talking about this guy asking about you. How do you feel getting jerked? You as a judge, what do you look at when you judge? Like knowing that you have a different style than most people.
Yeah,
like
easy.
People would want to get into your mind. And how does PA judge?
Yeah, easy. I mean, I always pick the better dancer that night. Right? I don't take in any of this prior information that I know about the dancer. I think that's like one of the most, it's one of the better things you can do when judging is just kind of go on with an empty slate and figure out if, I don't care if you fucking, you know, won X, Y, and Z, if you're not putting out tonight, you're not putting out. You know, and that kid is, and that kid is. There's a huge amount of balance because now you're looking at like, okay, what does a judge from an artistic standpoint judge on? And I think the hardest thing to balance in competition is the guy that's doing either less creative or interesting movement but is on point, right, versus the guy who's doing amazing stuff but fucking for sure crashed a little bit and lost his hat. Right? So which one wins? And that's where you really, I mean, you go down the fucking middle sometimes. You know, do you care more about execution than you do about originality? So then I think that's what really separates judges is people that favor one thing over the other. Do you favor tradition more than power? Do you favor this over that? And then I think the biggest issue with judging is judges just wait for you to fuck up and be like, well, you fucked up, so they won. Instead of actually having to assess something in an artistic perspective and say, lazy. Their art was better. I don't care if they fucking missed the freeze at the end, and if you can hit the easiest freezes on the planet every day of the week, they won. They're a better dancer than you.
Maybe, we talk about the judging thing because, I mean, for me, my personal opinion, I try not to have, like, favor in like my kind of style and characters and stuff, which I love. And if I see someone that can project that the way I like it, of course, like I'm gonna be into it. But if I see someone that's just like a total powerhead, like something completely opposite from me, but he's executing, he's doing it nice, he's killing it, and you could see the pressure and the style that he's putting. You can feel it. You can actually feel it. And then this guy that's just really good at style isn't on that mode. Like I try to like help in both worlds, right? Yeah. So maybe you could tell me and tell the viewers, like, when you judge, how do you judge? Like, what are your thoughts on, like, what's your views when you are judging B-boys or B-girls, whatever?
I mean, That's kind of it. I mean, I really have to see what they put out that day more than anything else.
Yeah.
I favor originality
Right.
because fucking originality rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Execution's dope. It's really dope, but that's more towards the athletic part of breaking, right?
Yeah.
So I've seen people fucking, in my opinion, win these world championships because they're more fit,
Right.
which is whack.
Right.
And I've seen, like I said, some of these better dancers that just are fucking losing first round
Yeah.
because they're, toying with something new and trying something different. So I'm biased because I want to see something new. I want to see, like I said, this huge, like, true human effort, and that you never really fucking see. So yeah, I'm gonna be the judge that votes for that.
That's good. Sorry.
All right, sorry. We got a phone call right now. We're gonna put him right, live.
Sure, yeah.
All right, man. Who's this? You're on the air.
Yo, what's up? This half-breed. I got a question for PA.
Half-breed.
Since you are a little bit of an older head and you've been training people up, I actually been training some little homies up and stuff, so it's always good to get some more, like, outside advice. But, like, what's some of the main things that you like to, like, incorporate when you're training up little homies, when you're teaching them about the culture and just, like, raising them up?
Respect, for sure. Teach them how to respect what you're doing and your understanding. Always leave a back door to the idea that you got this from someone and that you were taught this and how to respect the movements so that by the time they master it, they can pass it on the same way.
Word. I appreciate that.
We appreciate you calling in.
Y'all, man, stay easy. I'll try to donate some more later.
Oh, thank you,
Damn,
brother. We
thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Speaking of donation, we have another donation.
Ching ching.
I just lost it. That's how B-Boy News goes, though, right?
B-Boy News, we're professional. Can I go for a question, Cass?
Yeah, please do.
All right, thanks. What do you guys think of today's competition versus the battle on the old days? Why B-Boys who are dope and...
We're blind as bats.
I don't know what that word is, man.
Aren't bats actually not blind?
Oh, Cypher? Who spells Cypher like that? That guy spelled it with an S. Who the fuck?
Can we talk about B-boys and grammar and good spelling?
Let's talk about school. PA, what do you think of today's competition versus the battle in the old days? Let's just stick with that question.
Okay, yeah. I don't even know where to start. What haven't we said about this?
Well, I in my personal opinion, I think I've said this 3 times. Back in the days, for myself, I started breaking in the mid-90s. So when I used to go out to, I didn't have competitions. It was all house parties.
Yeah.
So I used to go out, and if I saw somebody break, I was like, oh shit, they're breaking. And I got hype, and I started doing flares against them. So like now, I think of B-Boy events, and I'm just like, I know I'm going to see you do flares. So it's not fun no more. It's like, I know I'm going to see B-Boys. I know I'm going to battle 16 times. And
Yeah.
that magic, to me,
How many
is not
rounds?
around no more because the party aspect of it is gone.
I love the party aspect.
You know?
Yeah, but the party aspect maybe just brought out different people too, and that's what was
True.
important to you.
True.
Yeah, so I really think if I had a fucking say in what happened, right? Let's say I had a stake in like what was going on with breaking, I would throw battles for fucking like non-circuit B-boys or something to that effect. Maybe it's just a fucking originality battle, or maybe it's non-fucking just like non-circuit B-boys. Maybe people that have never won or have never done this or that, and just give people like a different platform to win on or a different basis.
Underdog, kind of old style.
Yeah, something like that. And there was a lot of stuff like that back in the day. Like fucking Utmost threw the dopest jams.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
those
he
are
did.
the fucking illest. You
28
saw
grams.
crazy motherfuckers come out. Yeah, 28 grams. Stuff like that. There just needs to be something more interesting going on.
Right.
Yeah, than the same circuits. That shit gets fucking boring.
How would you separate that though? Like for example, if you throw an event, maybe a professional category and a non-professional category. How would that
Something,
be?
or maybe even just curate it, right? Have people curate jams. I mean, I want to watch fucking some of the super dope OGs battle, right? Like this Ivan versus
K-Mel.
K-Mel's
That's
going
gonna be
down.
dope. Big
That's
shout
a
out to
great
K-Mel and
idea.
Ivan.
Let's do shit like that.
I love it.
Let's have a fucking whole 16 panel of dudes, or maybe just pick 8 OGs like that. Those 2 are on it, Pose on it. You throw a bunch of bad motherfuckers, Kenny, Storm, whoever, and just that's the battle. And maybe there's 8 signups for 30 and overs or 35 and over.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's the
dope.
battle. Like, just give me something else.
You're just tired of the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
We're all tired of the
Hey, you
same
know what?
shit.
Maybe everybody's tired of the same shit and all these
Oh, for
battles that
sure
suck.
they are,
So
dude.
that's why they're bringing back the classics. Be like, well, we're done with this new
Everybody's
shit.
tired. Not only
I'm
are
really
they
excited
tired
about
of-
that.
Yeah, me too.
The K-Mel versus Ivan.
Yeah, that's dope. That's a
It's
great
so
idea.
dope, man. And I was so surprised because I asked Kay, and I was like, is this real? Because if you know Kay, it's like $100,000 probably. It's like you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
like you know something's going on. It's like you're getting K-Mel to get out of his world and battle.
Transparency, dude.
I love it.
People know how much you're getting paid.
I mean, thank you for whoever set that up.
Yeah. the
Speaking
Russians.
about events, I just got to give a quick shout out because they keep hitting me up and I keep saying it wrong. But Outbreak, I'll be at Outbreak July 21st to 31st. I think Slovakia. I'll be teaching 5 days of workshops, judging some events. I'll be out there. So tune in for the Outbreak. Shout out to We Sang Joe. He gave us a donation, $20.
Ching, ching.
Damn.
Donation to Bboy News. Love what you guys are doing. Shout outs to Boom Bap Vintage Clothing.
Boom Bap Vintage Clothing.
And then, lastly, we'll do a couple more questions before we shut this down. Also, there's a number up there if you want to call. But I wanted to talk about, and I think I bring this up in every podcast, but there's always new viewers and new people to talk to about this. So I want to ask you, as a teacher, you know, myself, I kind of had a prodigy within Prodigy, B-Boy Prodigy, and maybe I'm not clear with it, but definitely Thesis was, you know, under your wing at some point, or maybe you taught him, I don't know, but in any case, maybe you could talk about his style, him and the crew, you know, what he's doing now. Like, are you proud of him? Are you stoked what he's doing, being involved, you know, and just killing it? But also, in two questions, if this, I know it's a lot, but just teaching and having a student and, you know, carrying on tradition, your thoughts on that?
Okay, here's a cool thing, because this is what I fucking hate about older B-boys, is when you, and again, I'm not saying about this about Thesis or anybody else, but like when you either have your own style or you've invented these signature moves and you see those moves out there, there's this like fucking narcissistic urge to say this is mine, like piss on everything, and say that this was my move and they took it, which I think is the dumbest thing possible. I think the best thing you could do as an instructor is to contribute, and once you contribute, you set that fucking ship a sail. And that's it. You don't get mad that that ship is fucking conquering new lands or whatever.
Of course.
You're proud of it. You're proud of your work. So with Thesis, with fucking the 300 kids that I've had come in and out of the places that I've taught, I've always given them my best effort in terms of education. I gave them the tools that I thought were amazing to find new stuff, right? So let's say, for me, of course, I have my own biased opinion towards my style, but I taught them how to do threads and how to do connections and how to tell stories and how to bring out their character, not just with him, but with a lot of people, you know, and there's been a lot of contributing factors to everybody. Of
course.
You know, I'm not a sole contributor to any B-boys breaking, but I gave my best effort to give them tools that I wish I had, so you can go further, right? But my least favorite thing is when you see someone do something which should be flattering, that across the world someone's doing a move that I invented, and whether they know it or not, or they took it or not, it doesn't matter. Like you've contributed to this culture, and now the culture has grown, and that should be your focus, not this like anger that someone else is doing your move, or this, like I said, this narcissistic need to claim things that are yours that aren't really yours. They're not yours. This doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to any of us.
Definitely. But also the question. Just your thoughts on having dancers kind of pass tradition and help each other and have someone as a student, or whether just even if you don't want to call it a student, but you know what I'm saying, just carrying on tradition, having someone, your thoughts on, is it important to kind of just whatever you've learned to pass down, or what, you know, that's...
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Thesis is the fucking man. He's a world champion.
Shout out to Thesis.
And he's done that with his own movement, you know, like with his own idea and his take on what movement should be, and his own list of influences and people that have helped him along the way, and he's gone to the highest platform doing that, you know, and it's one of the most phenomenal things to watch, because you would have never thought, you know, 10 years ago that someone doing that style or you know, or mixed influences would be on that platform, right? So that's an amazing step for breaking, and he's taken that step. And this is fucking, when he won this shit, I lost my mind in my fucking living room, and just screaming at the TV. Unbelievable.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I appreciate the idea and how you're saying, you know, the bragging rights and or claiming and how fucked up
whack.
it is. But I just want to say, from just personally seeing you as a person and not just a b-boy, like, it's truly inspiring to see you come from nothing to where you're at today. And you did help him a lot, and you've helped a lot of people, and I just like seeing that. It inspires me because I just want to be better for myself, and,
Yeah.
and then whatever good from me I want to bring to other people.
Word.
So you're definitely, you're one of the good dudes out of there, man.
You're an inspiration
And
for sure.
you're
Thanks,
definitely an
man.
inspiration.
Fucking help more people, take less credit.
Yeah.
You know?
You
Uh,
definitely helped me as well.
while we're watching this, let's do just a couple more questions before we end this. So, yeah, go ahead, Smurf.
What are we looking at? We're looking at over here, from Mr. Twister. Might be an interesting question for PA. What do you think about devices that help you learn power moves? You might have seen videos of these support equipments attached to the ceilings. Peace.
Are you talking about the air flare
I'm
machine?
talking about the air flare rubber hoses.
It looks like a weird sex position thing.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I'll say about any of that stuff, or fucking, when you're at practice, you're at practice. Use tools to help you get better.
Yep.
If you have to wear knee pads or a fucking helmet, wear it. I wouldn't battle with it, and you look an asshole, but try to minimalize it when you battle. But at practice, like, breaking's so fucking dangerous. Like, people are getting the shit kicked out of them. We don't have, like, football equipment, and we're a high-impact sport, and we're smashing ourselves into the ground. Take every advantage you have to fucking perform, get better, understand movement quality, patterns, whatever. Yeah, fucking use what you got.
All right, let's do one more question. Justin, can you move up a little bit?
Curious, Murph, have you ever had someone under your wing? You know what? I don't know. Casper was
Tell
under my
Smurf
wing.
everything he knows. Don't listen to him.
Let me see.
I'm claiming Smurf.
Yeah, I was under Casper's wing. Why people don't appreciate great teachers in this culture? Why do people don't appreciate great teachers? I don't know if that's a point of view that I agree with, because I don't think people really don't appreciate their teachers. A lot of people go around giving people props. You know?
Yeah, I think things are less respectful than they used to be. I think people used to be more respectful, right, in terms of like lineage, you know, and like you didn't have to claim what you've done. People just knew and like gave you respect, and that was dope. And I think there's less of that. I think people are a little more entitled and think that fucking, I don't know, like calling out an OG is like the way to go or something when you're like not
so
ready.
Me and Casper started.
You're
on that.
not ready. Oh yeah, you guys started. You guys ruined breaking.
Yeah.
No, Casper
just
hates
me.
that.
Oh, I fucking, that's
He
so
hates it, he hates
stupid.
it.
And that's just like a lack of understanding or class. Like, you wouldn't take a martial arts class and have a white belt and call out your fucking master, you know, like week
No,
3.
it's stupid,
And it's
man.
retarded, yeah. He should just kick you in the fucking head.
Yeah.
Is
Or
what he
kick
should
you
do.
out.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's really silly, especially like in this culture. This dance is so young that a lot of the people that created this dance, or so they say, are still alive. They still were there and experienced it, and you should take advantage of that in a positive way. When I see an older, veteran of this culture like in the cypher enjoying himself, and people are calling him out left and right, cocking him, it's like you're not gonna learn anything from that.
Yeah.
Right? And you gotta understand, like, he's here, he's not dead, they're there. Take advantage. Watch. You can learn a lot just from watching.
Yeah.
I did that for years before I was allowed in the cypher. I paid attention and I watched what was in front of me and well-experienced dancers. And then I got the flow and was allowed, to be within their presence, and then I became equals. And it's like, you got to do that with respect to get respect back. It's just, it's common sense. And seeing these b-boys and going, I'm gonna just cock them, smoke them, call them a biter, you're not going to learn from that. If you want to learn something, when he's free, go to the side and ask him questions, because he's here or she's here. It's again, it's such a young culture, and we still have some of these people that are still alive that were there. Take advantage of it in a proper, positive way, and you're gonna get a positive answer. And that's it's just funny when everybody wants to be piranhas and call each other out.
Piranha boys.
You can lose. Yeah, it's funny.
I agree with you, Casper, and I also think that there's nobody wants to be humble enough to call anybody their heroes anymore. So like when I was a kid, I had heroes. Like I looked up to Ivan like a motherfucker. Like even now, I run up on Ivan like he's my fucking dad.
Bit mad
like yo,
emotional.
Ivan, I'm fucking you. I'm fucking you. Like when I saw him, I was like, yo, I'm
fucking you.
Like, when I
Quote of the
no,
night.
not like that. No homo. But like when I break and like I started doing that fast shit and like I started doing mad fast windmills. That was me, Ivan. That was Ivan. And I'm humble enough to say that. Even if he's still around, like, yo, you're my hero. And a lot of kids don't have that humbleness inside of them. So I think that maybe we should bring that back. We should like look up to our people. Like,
Oh, dude.
you know, I look up to Casper. To me, Casper's my favorite b-boy, and I'm older than him.
Right.
You know, I saw him come up, and it's like he's my favorite b-boy for real. So it's like
I'm my favorite b-boy too.
Dude, I fully fucking agree with
love
you.
it.
There, and there's a lot to be said about having lineage too, and having like a proud lineage.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what first influenced my style was obviously Sour Patch, right? And then I had a huge influence from, I mean, people probably don't know who the fuck this is, but Homework. Like Homework was fucking crazy. And then fucking Midas. For sure.
Midas.
Hands down, one of my biggest influences. He was
Check out
amazing.
Midas.
big
You
shout
don't
out
know
to
Midas?
Midas.
Yeah,
That's
well,
cool.
then you're an idiot.
Yeah.
But
You sure you didn't have a beer already?
yeah, I know. But just shit like that, understanding it adds more value to your property, to your real estate and breaking, having a better lineage and understanding, respect, just like any artist that came about, you know, that's what you did.
Right.
You modeled stuff like that. Yeah, dude.
Big shout outs to Midas.
Fucking
Yo,
man.
please check out Midas if you have the chance.
And what's beautiful is that you got the OGs here, and like they're sitting here with you, like they're telling you who to look up to and who they looked up to. So like you hear names, Google them yourselves, you know,
Yeah.
and like go back and just appreciate this shit because this is what makes fucking b-boys.
Yeah, here's a guy that's ahead of the game. What he does now is the last time I saw him, I was in Canada and I met up with him because I found out he was in Canada. He's in Toronto and he does a study at one of these universities just purely on breaking the history of like fucking b-boy and hip hop culture.
No shit.
And like lineage and
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about, which is the fact that all these people are still alive. So you can get this information.
What? We need to
So
get
that's
him in
all
here.
he does now is studies on this, and I might be fucking butchering what he does, but for the most part, he does like lectures and understanding and study on dance theory about like breaking and hip hop culture and where these dances came from, and getting real information and not like this collusion of information that people would just make up their own history in breaking, which is bullshit all the time, and then they force it on you.
True.
Yeah.
No, I'm stoked to hear that, man. I learn things every day, and I think that's what it's about, is just listening, learning, you know, new ideas, new information every day, having this podcast, having your thing. Like, it's really, it's a good time right now. I think everybody should just take advantage of what we have.
Dude, fucking props. This is an incredible resource.
Yeah.
Like, everything we're talking about is try to take a step in the right direction, educate yourself more.
Yeah.
That's what this is. This is dope. Like, fucking props to you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you, man. We just want to create a platform for the people that we look
Yeah.
up to, and we also want to give a chance to people to get into your head and what you're thinking, because sometimes all they got is videos.
Yeah, dude, I'd fucking pay for this. I think people should either, like, pay for it or subscribe or donate more because...
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Because the idea is the more people you can get in here, the more information. You're one of a kind. You know, you're like one of the only podcasts in breaking. If you go to other industries in the fitness industry, there's a fucking podcast every half a block, right? And in breaking, this is like a really fucking important thing at a really important time, and it's being fucking curated by great people. Like, you guys are fucking
Thank you, brother.
awesome. Like,
Appreciate
you guys are entertaining, funny, well-educated, and fucking some of the baddest b-boys on the planet.
Oh, thank you,
Like,
brother.
what else could you ask for? Right, and you're bringing on, you know, with the exception of me, really good b-boys.
Oh, shut
you
up.
know?
We bring on the
He's
people that
illest.
inspire us.
That's true. You do inspire us.
Word.
Let's get one more question for PA. A good question. Justin, do your
Good
thing.
question.
What do you do for a living? Rewind. Just
Rewind.
watch, subscribe, and watch this again.
The live streams are basically lessons. Thanks for streaming Dope Inside. Big shout outs to Captain Santi.
Damn.
Cypher Break. Big shout outs to Cypher Break. You want to get a cast?
No, you got it.
All right, I'll get it. I have to get up because I'm blind. What is your stance on sponsorships? Do you agree that we give up our freedom of fashion in order to rock a corporate logo for a check? Is that okay for the younger generation to see and carry on? Well, I think we touched into that a little bit earlier. It's
Yeah.
about
How much fashion are you giving up? You know, how well do you dress right now?
I
probably
think
not that fast.
it's important. I'll let you go. I'm just gonna say real quick. I think it's important to respect yourself, and if you're making money and you're doing it right and you feel true to yourself, then yeah, to each his own. As long as you don't look silly like a race car every day,
Yeah.
and you know that's not me, and you just look like a race car, and there's all these stickers all over you, and you're promoting something that has not so much respect for yourself, like with what you do, and you're kind of just doing it for the money, then that's, I mean, it should be a no-brainer. You know, you do dancing, you do breaking because it's fun. At the end of the day, this breakdance fighting, everybody's mad and angry and all this bullshit. It's dancing, and why do you dance? Because it's fun. Like, that's what it is. You
It's
know, you
fun.
can break it down. It's fun. So you got to keep having fun. When you start slapping all these stickers on you and doing all these brands, if it's not helping your brand, then there's an issue there. But
Yeah, it's a case-by-case thing, right? Are you mad that they're a super crew and they're winning events, or are you mad that they're getting paid, right? And at the end of the day, it's either, I don't care what you're wearing, are you dope at breaking or are you not? Do you suck or are you fucking good?
Right.
And if you're a super crew and you beat everybody, then fucking you had the best dancers. And if a real crew prevails, right, even better. I like to see that more. Who doesn't like to see that more?
Yeah.
You know, there's more authenticity, there's more better energy. But if a crew can't pull it together, you can't fucking complain about super crews winning events.
Yeah.
And you sure as fuck can't complain about people getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, you can complain all day if people are good at breaking, bad at breaking, or whatever. You can have your opinion. You're welcome to that. It's America.
Yeah.
But get fucking paid.
Yeah.
You know, figure out what your value is here and make some money and try
Yeah.
to make a living off of this. So you don't have to be, you know, working at Home Depot or McDonald's and then complain about fucking breaking. You know.
True.
Straight up, dude.
I mean, you just gotta like basically not change who you are. If you like feel like getting a sponsorship from somebody makes you change who you are and what you represent,
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately what we're getting.
Yeah,
to
you have to make a fucking personal decision. We did a spot for Paige Denim that fucking gets sold at Nordstrom, but it was done by a fucking artist that Adam Franzino that does like incredible photography video work, and the idea was right up our alley, and we did it because it was right.
Yeah.
But if he had me put on a fucking bear suit, then I wasn't gonna do it. I don't
Right.
care how much you're gonna pay me.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been there. There was
You put on the bear suit.
no, I should
Maybe
have.
that's your opinion.
Sometimes I regret not putting the
Yeah,
bear suit.
oh.
No, there was a job.
Don't
for,
put on the bear suit.
There
Don't
was
do
a
it.
VMAs. There was a VMAs, and a good friend of mine told me that she was gonna pay me like a hefty, amount, and I was, broke as a joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is great. So what do I have to do? And she's like, oh, you don't even have to break. And I'm like, wow, even better. Like, just my look. And she's like, yeah. So it's gonna be you and another dude with a beard. I had a full beard at the time. We're gonna be mermaids in the water.
Merman.
Merman. Sorry.
Oh no.
And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you don't dance. You're going to just kind of go with the beat and like just be hanging out in a jacuzzi with another man. And I said, the first thing I said was, can I at least have a 40 in the pool? And she was like, no 40. You're just a merman. And I was like, no. Like, I can't put the bear
Can't
suit
do
on.
it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Just
Don't wear the
couldn't do
bear
it.
suit.
Couldn't do it.
Don't do it, man.
Well, that's worse though. A fucking mermaid outfit.
Yeah, you
That's right up your alley though.
You decide your own fate with this shit. Like, if you want
Man,
to look
it's
like
tough,
a prick,
though.
yeah, if these companies make you look like an asshole, then you're
Right.
an asshole.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
getting paid, but you're an asshole.
You learn from your experience.
Yeah.
I'm sure I definitely had in the past, like, commercial-wise, just doing the wrong thing and then lying to me. But, you learn from that. And,
Yeah.
you just got to make sure you just do it for yourself, not for others. But,
Yeah, I never had commercial work.
all right, one more.
All right, one more. You
Yeah,
sure?
one more.
You
Yeah.
want to pick it or I pick it?
You pick it.
Cyber Yoga. Big shout outs to Tails
Yeah,
from West Coast
what up?
Rockers. Big Tails in the house. All
Much
right.
love.
His question is a comment. Good stuff, guys. Man, we love you, Cyber Yoga. Follow him on Instagram.
Dope.
There you go.
All right, so let's go.
Go up a
I remember
little
when Tails had an afro back in the days. Remember that? Him and Go Rock used to kill shit.
I remember that.
Oh man.
Remember when Elsewhere used to battle the West Coast Rockers?
Oh my goodness,
Dude.
Elsewhere.
In the battles.
His is
It's
viral.
there.
His
You
is
can't
viral.
do that
Was he
anymore.
teaching Michael? I heard like a thing.
don't know.
Like right before the last tour, he was teaching Michael. That was his
Really?
thing.
Oh, okay.
He's good
Okay.
enough. All right, so Mr. Twister, been there, done that. Why people appreciate more competitive b-boys than great teachers in this culture? Why people don't appreciate great teachers in this culture? Rawest battle ever seen. Oh, rawest battle I've seen. I don't know what that means. Can you guys please watch Migas versus Camille in the hallway?
We'll watch it.
We'll watch it next week.
That's funny.
Yeah, but what about the battle against Little Demon?
Wait, go down, go down.
Nevermind.
Yeah, that's the one I was fucking drunk.
Right here.
Wait, you battled Little Demon?
Dude,
You did that to yourself?
I've lost the Little Demon twice. In
Let's
my
watch
I
career.
that
would
shit.
never battle.
I would
no, I don't
never-
want to watch that. We're leaving on a
All right,
his
we're
notes.
leaving on a good note.
Oof.
Little Demon's pretty nasty.
Bane of
though.
my existence is Little Demon.
Really? He murdered Milky
Not
too.
Dude, he'll
I don't
fucking
really
fry
care.
me
He'll
up.
murder anybody.
All right, so
I think that's good.
thank you guys for tuning in, B-Boy News Live Podcast. We have incredible content every Wednesday. Please just feel free to donate, whether it's 50 cents, $1, $2, anything. We really appreciate it. It just helps us keep doing this and having great guests like Paranoid Android. I want to thank Paranoid Android,
True.
a living legend, huge
shout out to
inspiration to
Pookie,
both
sorry.
of us.
Sorry.
No worries. What's up, Pookie, El Nino? What's up, Alex Diaz? Boom. Never battle Little Demon. Yep.
We know that.
Yeah,
El
okay.
Nino
Thanks
knows.
for that. Yeah. Good.
You can see him. He's a personal trainer and coach at Deuce's Gym. The website to Breakwad is
Breakwad.com.
breakwad.com. As easy
Boom.
as that. Yeah, you can check him out on his Instagram, which is also, we didn't have
Christopher Pinetto.
Yep.
We'll put the link in the bottom also.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to plug in?
it up. Yeah, please.
That's it, man. Fucking thank you guys for having me. Shout out to my crew, greatest crew in the fucking world. Shout out to my
Can I do it?
fiance.
Am I loud? Am I loud?
Okay, yeah, just for
All right,
this
just
one.
this one time?
Just this one.
Oh, it feels so good.
man.
Shout out to my girl. I love you, baby. That's it. That's all I got.
Thank you guys.
Word. We did
Till
it.
next time, Bboy News Live. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, share, and like. See you
Peace.
soon.
Bye.
Big shout out to